It is Tuesday, the 21st of May, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Now is where we get heavy. So, like I said, this week is supposed to be heavier than the ones I've done before. And we're going to be talking about a band that I got into relatively recently, like as in only a few years ago. Most of the artists I've talked about so far have been people I've been into for a while. I guess Chloe is probably the most recent one that I've gotten into out of all the ones I've talked about so far. This is a band who has existed for a long time. I mean, they've released a lot of albums, and I had certainly heard the name around, but I didn't actually get to listening to them until a few years ago. The band is Between the Buried and Me, and the song is The Future is Behind Us. Basically, I'm in a Discord server for the Canadian comedy group Loading Ready Run, and they have a music channel where people post songs, and someone posted this song, and the thumbnail of the video caught my eye. I was like, ooh, that looks interesting. I want to at least watch this video. I don't know if I'll care about the song, but I ended up really liking the song and the video, and it's stuck with me since. It's just one of those songs I come back to every so often, and I've since then listened to their entire discography. This album is their most recent album, in fact, and really enjoyed it. So I think I'll wait to talk about the rest of the context until after we've listened to it. I do need to say, though, that this song, the album that this song is from, is designed to all be one like continuous flowing piece. So if you're going to listen to the song for this podcast, if you listen on YouTube, watch the music video. If you listen on Spotify, listen to the first few seconds of the next song, because this song ends with a note. Like the last word of this song actually happens in the next song. And in the music video, they include that and then just fade it out. But on the album, you have to actually listen to the start of the next song. So just bear that in mind. We're going to listen to it now, and then we'll come back in a few minutes. I remember saying this a lot early on, but doesn't that song get you pumped up? No, Yeah, so that's The Future is Behind Us and the start of Turbulent by Between the Buried and Me. I was originally actually going to do Turbulent as well in this episode because it reprises some stuff from The Future is Behind Us, but it's just too long, and I know The Future is Behind Us a lot better, so I decided to just stick with this song. So let's talk about the concept here. Back in 2007, Between the Buried and Me released an album called Colors. And the intention of Colors, it was sort of like a mission statement of the band almost. It was like them kind of trying to solidify their sound a bit, you know. And the band described it as adult contemporary progressive death metal, which I think is a very funny description. But the whole idea of it is that it's all one sound. Like it's separated into 8 tracks, but it transitions into each other. So it all feels like one long flowing thing. It's just over an hour. And then many years later, they were going to be working on their next album, and then COVID lockdowns happened, and it canceled their tour. Like, they had to cancel tour dates because of COVID, and it made them kind of reflect on where they are as a band, and kind of also, like, where humanity is. So their next album was Colors 2, and it's a similar sort of idea to the first, Colors being this one long, continuous, flowing piece of music that's separated into tracks, and The Future is Behind Us is the 9th track on there. And I gotta say, having listened to their whole discography now, the 2 Colors albums are 2 of their best. They're fantastic. This song in particular, I've seen some people theorize that this song itself is kind of about that thing of moving on from the previous album, you know, The Future is Behind Us and all that. So we've got the lyrics, stuck in our last season, bite off our headless fever, drifting and melting you gravitate. I'm not going to read all the lyrics here because this is a longer one, and I can't analyze all of these lyrics really, but there's some interesting stuff with kill the writer, their eyes follow you, open the closed off circle. That specifically is a reference to a song from the first Colors album called White Walls, which has a lyric that's we just need to throw some new ideas and it will eventually get out of this closed off circle we are part of. The music video, some people also think references white walls, what with there being white walls that eventually become black over the course of the video. So again, kind of this theme of moving on from the previous album and the previous songs, you know. The big striking thing about this song for me, and what drew me into it when I listened to it, was the way the music shifts. Because I'm used to prog, I'm used to music that changes around. So this song starts with its kind of epic, kind of 80s sound of the beep, which is continuing on from the previous song. But then it gets into the groove with the bow, 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 now, bow, now, bow, now, bow, now. So already you're in a weird time signature, and you have the guitar going, which sounds like Chic, like Nile Rodgers or something like that. It's like such a weird, feels out of place, and then you've got the keyboards and the synth as well. But somehow it all kind of works together. There's some weird effects of like the synth on top of the drums as well that I also really like. And then after the first chorus, well, I don't know what you can call a chorus, it's just kind of all different parts, but after the first section of the song, you got the drum and synth bit doing the dun 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 dun. And then a sample from Oh Yeah by Yellow of Chicka Chicka. And the first time I listened to this song, that fucking destroyed me. I just was not expecting it at all. But now I like look forward to it every time I listen to the song. I have to sing along to that, but just a Chicka Chicka. And then it goes immediately into the like growling, because like the first bit's lyrics are like, or vocals rather, are quite clean and spacey, you know, stuck in our last season. And then after you get the chicka, you get the sorry for the last week of bringing you down. My mind is to blame, my mind is to blame, what the fuck? And so again, I like, much like how the music is ever shifting, I like how the vocals are ever shifting. And then you get the, I'm not going to attempt the fucking screams, but just the way it's like, locked in a place of grief, I cannot find thee. Like it's gets more aggressive as it goes. Yes, me and my brain. Do. And then you get into the sorry for the last month of bringing you down. I just love the way it progresses. The music gets heavier and faster, and the vocals get like more screamy and whatever. And then after all that, it gets more melodic again with the open wide. Let the pill slide down. Yeah, I love the progression of this song so much. Just the way all the different parts feel so disparate, but they somehow all fit together. I love that about it. I like also the recurring thing of it. Sorry for the last week of bringing you down. Sorry for the last month of bringing you down. Sorry for the last year of bringing you down. You know, you can read this song as being about the kind of progression of the band and moving on from the previous album, but you can also just read it kind of as about being depressed, you know? Like, stuck in our last season, drifting and melting, you gravitate. Like it has that sort of depressed feeling to it. And then open the closed off circle, I know is a reference to White Walls, but open the closed off circle as a phrase makes me think of like coming out of a depression, opening your closed off circle, you know what I mean? And then that apology, sorry for the last week of bringing you down, it just feels like, you know, the way depressed people will overly apologize for things that aren't their fault, right? Particularly, my mind is to blame, what the fuck? Which is so blunt, you know, but I love it. And of course, open wide, let the pills slide down, sink away from your nourishment. Again, taking antidepressants and all that. And then it ends with the, my mind is to blame. But that blame is on the other song, you know, this song goes, my mind is to I don't have too much to actually say about the song aside from what I've just said. Like, I'm not fully versed in this band's lore or anything, or the lore of the album indeed, but I just really love the vibe. I love the way the music changes. I love the way the vocal changes. I love all of that, and I hope you like it too. I feel like this is going to be like the most divisive one that I've covered so far, just because it's such a very particular type of weird progressive metalcore. But you know, it'll be interesting. I mean, let me know what you think. Subscribe, comment, like, all that. Let me know if you think this song sucks shit, or if you really like it, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
The big striking thing about this song for me, and what drew me into it when I listened to it, was the way the music shifts. Because I'm used to prog, I'm used to music that changes around. I like Kojim Dip, I like Mr. Bungle. clearly a man of taste, man. But now I like look forward to it every time I listen to the song. I have to sing along to that, but just a chicka chicka. Sorry for the last week of bringing you down. And then you get the locked in. I'm not going to attempt the fucking screams I say, having attempted it.